Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Spice and the Wolf, episode 25, the finale, the final episode of this season, but we already know that another season is in production. We don't know the details yet, we don't know when's it coming out, we don't know how many episodes it's gonna have, we don't know what's it gonna cover exactly, but we know that it's being made, and hey, I'll take this kind of news over no kind of news, for sure. Right. What's gonna happen in today's episode? Holo is gonna show us a, whatchamacallit, not a secret, not a mystery, a miracle. Yeah, that was the word I was missing. Yeah, Holo is gonna show us a miracle. And that's basically all we know for sure. How's it gonna go beyond that? I don't know, we'll see. What happened in the previous episode exactly, right? Let's start with that. In the previous episode, we made our escape from the village of Terio through the tunnels dug from the church through the cave that Terio supposedly inhabited way back when. The escape was successful, right? Everybody boarded the Holo Express and they ran away. They stopped for a moment to rest, or for the night. No, not for the whole night. For the night. Right, they stopped for the night to rest somewhere on some sort of meadow, and they noticed the forces being moved towards Terio, and the forces indeed, they weren't just, as I expected, right? I expected the whole thing to be just some sort of an official from the city, maybe a bishop or something, and a bunch of carts with grain, and that's essentially it. But instead, we got a whole entire war band full of mercenaries traveling with them, guarding those carts. We have the bishop or whoever traveling in his own carriage with his own, paid honor guards. So it's quite a bigger of an ordeal than I thought it's gonna be initially. And if the villagers deny taking the grain back and paying, well, we can expect an armed, whatchamacallit, an armed not interaction. I mean, I guess, yeah, interaction as well. That also fits here. We can assume the mercenaries to beat the villagers down, essentially, until they agree to pay back. And after seeing that, they traveled for a while more, and Elsa asked some questions to Holo. One certain question, right? One specific question. Are you... ... And that question remains unfinished even in the source material, as you guys told me, and what the question was supposed to be and what the answer was supposed to be exactly, all of that is still unknown to us, because the whole entire light novel is told from the perspective of Lawrence, and he had absolutely no insight into Holo's or Elsa's mind, so he couldn't have known. But the current assumption, and one that I agree with, is that Elsa's question was supposed to be a question about the existence of God, to which Holo replied with some vague words, but those words did not deny her godhood. Even some of what she said about, causing miracles and helping grow wheat and answering prayers and stuff like that would make you believe that she is in fact a deity, although she never called herself as such. So a very vague answer for Elsa. But it seems like she basically took that answer for, yes, Holo is a deity, and since one deity can exist, other deities certainly can exist as well, and that includes the god I believe in, so chances are that, yes, my god does exist. If Holo does, if Terio does, then my god exists as well. And that's what prompted her to go back to the village. I don't know exactly and precisely why, what exactly prompted her, besides some feeling of duty towards Father Francis' legacy, some feeling of I don't know, local patriotism, maybe, right? Like she was raised in this village, so it wouldn't feel right to abandon it, right? Feelings like that, I think, kind of just compounded one onto another, and they prompted her to go back to the village and do whatever she can. And problem is, she can't do all that much, unfortunately, not at that point, at least. Then, of course, Evan also starts wondering if he should go after Elsa, to which Kraft tells him, well, you are an aspiring merchant, right? You want to be a merchant, and if you want to be a merchant, you gotta do the calculation, right? What are the costs? What are the benefits? Etc., etc. And he repeats it twice, and Evan finally gets the proper meaning of it, right? Like first time Lawrence said it, you could maybe interpret it as, okay, right, Elsa is going away, but you have so much more to benefit if you go with us. If you find a job as a merchant, you could maybe even help her financially in the future, etc., etc. But the second time he repeated it, it kind of became obvious that he means love above all, basically. There is no worth higher than that, so go after her. A lesson that he himself learned in what was the city called? The one where Amarty was and the whole pyrite shenanigans. Yeah, there. During that arc, that's a lesson that Lawrence learned, and now he shared that with Evan. And so they both run back towards the village to save it. And Holo did not take it well. She lashed out on Lawrence, poor Lawrence, who was, I mean, essentially without a fault here, but she didn't really have any other out for her feelings, and they are understandable, right? She was never given a chance to go back to her village and save it. Essentially, that's what it boils down to. Right? Evan and Elsa made the decision to go back to the village and try to save it, try to do something for it. Holo left Yoitsu, and Yoitsu was destroyed, and she blames herself for it. Even though she shouldn't be blaming herself, and Lawrence says as much, right? It happened hundreds of years after you left. You never could have known that this is what's gonna happen. If you knew that the bear was attacking ahead of time, you would have gone back, or you would have never left. Absolutely, but you didn't know that. So you can't really change the past, and that seems to placate Holo a little bit. And she decides to go back to Tereo as well, together with Lawrence, and help Elsa and Evan save their village. Perhaps by doing that, Holo would be able to solve her survivor's guilt by proxy a little bit, right? Like she couldn't have saved her own village, but she's able to save another's village, and that might do something for her mentally. Hopefully, we'll see, of course. As a part of the plan of saving the village, Holo will perform a miracle. We don't know what miracle it is. Lawrence knows it. Evan and Elsa don't know it either, I don't think, but we, the viewer, do not. Like, we were shown explicitly that yes, Holo is performing a miracle, but we weren't shown the miracle itself, so we are kinda kept hanging still. And another part of it is that Evan will taste the wheat, and to prove that it's to prove that it's healthy. And right, the hope is that first of all, Evan is going to just prove the whatchamacallit, safety of the grain, and then Holo will perform a miracle, probably hiding somewhere and, unbeknownst to any. But basically, the whole village is presumed to be a bunch of heretics, a bunch of pagans who are like poisoning wheat to poison the good, God-fearing folk and whatnot. But if a miracle happens in this village, well, that means the god probably likes it. So they're probably not heretics after all. After all, God would not be performing miracles in heretical land, right? So that's the hope. We'll see how it goes, of course. Evan is very much scared of tasting the wheat. He says that should the wheat turn out to be poisoned, Holo should just eat him and shorten his suffering. Because apparently the something, I can't remember the name of that wheat issue, wheat sickness. But apparently, if you are infected with it, you die very slowly and very painfully. So, yeah, I can understand Evan, I guess. And now we have regrouped. Also, Elsa had some additional idea that she shared. We don't exactly know what that idea is, but Holo agreed, so it's probably a good one. And Lawrence is also gonna get involved. Presumably, he's going to try and sell the wheat that they get back from Enberg, or maybe he's gonna try to sell the wheat back to Enberg. I don't know. He's gonna do his merchanting, his trading. We'll see where all of that goes, right? What do I expect from today's episode? I expect a miracle. And that's basically all I know for sure. How exactly it's gonna end? It's probably gonna have a good end. I mean, let's be honest here. I really don't think this is the kind of a show that would end an arc on a low note, right? Like, we tried to save the village, but we could not. Evan has been imprisoned, Elsa has been burned at a stake as a witch heretic, and the village has been like leveled and the ground salted, right? It's not gonna end on that note for sure. So we can be pretty much certain of a good ending. What kind of an ending it's gonna be, I don't know. I could see Elsa and Evan deciding to move out as a sort of a good ending as well. I can see them deciding to stay as a good ending. I can see Evan deciding to stop being a miller and start trying to be a merchant as a good ending as well, but still being tied to Terio. Sure, plenty of ways it could go. Oh, I forgot one more thing. Apparently, the cave, the burrow that supposedly taken by Terio, actually was inhabited by Terio, according to Holo. Whether Terio is still hibernating somewhere at the end of that burrow or not, we don't know, but we know that he's been there at some point and perhaps continues to be there. So I wonder if that's gonna play into the miracle or something as well. I don't know. We'll see, right? Shall we? And to do that, you're gonna need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. No, not this. There we go, this direction. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching Spice and Wolf episode 25, the finale, in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, right, they're coming back. Yeah, the statue can't be that heavy if they can lock it, lift it this easily. Okay, what do you need exactly? True, that's another benefit. If they don't have to run away, they can take their time reading all of those books, right? They can stay in this village however long they want, and who knows, maybe they're gonna be able to find some information about Holo's friends' whereabouts, for example, right? if they did scatter, then surely there's gonna be some legends of a woven deity of the forest who helped a village of loggers get top quality wood, or a woven deity of fishing that kept rivers ripe with fish, right? So yeah, solving the problem of Terio is to Holo's benefit as well. I just didn't think about it initially. Also, as a side note, like and subscribe. I'm trying to get into the habit of using the opening portion to shill for interactions like that. We'll see if it changes things. For a brief moment on the channel, I was actually doing that because my videos were re-uploaded to some mashup channels. So I thought, hey, why not? They usually cut out the initial part, but they're not gonna cut out the opening. A chalice. You're gonna turn water into wine? That would be a classic. Oh. Yeah, you probably don't want to attack armed guards, do you? And here's a proof of heresy. Weak ass, it didn't even break. Okay. Sounds like Church's modus operandi. Funny you mention true faith after learning the existence of other deities. Damn, everybody froze. No, the rumors have just been over exaggerated. True. Why did your god not protect you? And you're not under the protection of your good god, are you? I recognize this voice. Is it not the voice of what's his face? The dude who played the guy. Not a precise description. The guy in Yojo Senki, one of the generals, Zettur, right? I think it's Zettur's voice actor. Yeah, it's him, absolutely. Oh, Truyel is the servant of your god? Sure. I mean, it sounds like heresy, but yep. Is it sprouting? Yep, it's sprouting. There we go. So that's the miracle that Holo can perform. Underneath Evan's feet. I have no idea why he's standing there, but... Did he, like, carry some of Holo's wheat here, maybe, to... No, not... Holo wouldn't need a proxy like that, would she? I mean, yeah, that clearly is a miracle. So only the wheat in this carriage was sick. Infected. Yeah, I mean, you've seen it with your own eyes. You can't really deny that it's a miracle. By eating infected wheat out of this chalice? You can't really deny that. Not in front of your believers, can you? Yeah, she got him good. Holy water? Or just water? Okay, holy water. He's gonna drink the water, eat the wheat. Oh, it's not even wheat, it's flour. You're gonna get salmonella, my dude. You might not get, like, whatever illness is in the grain, but you're gonna get salmonella with, like, from raw flour. True. I mean, I don't think the infection works that fast that it would show on him. Yeah? Oh, offering the infected chalice to him? No, that's a tough one, isn't it? uh... Yep. Cover your ass. Have it in writing. In, like, 7 copies. Give one to Lawrence just in case. Yeah, you're not gonna get any of the glory. What issue? I mean, if the wheat is good, they have no reason to give their money back. That's a face. I mean, more like a fox, I'd say. Let's settle the matters of coin. Exactly. uh on a public forum, no less, in front of, like, the sacred oak or whatever. I mean, you wanted to sell it back anyway. I mean, yeah, okay. So return the one card. Whomst. Oh. Yeah, I mean, great discount, mate. Ah, okay. So he knows what's up. Gotcha. 106. I mean, that's perfectly fine. Okay, so they're able to buy the wheat back for less money than they sold it for. How about credit? Right, if the wheat's gonna be sold under Bishop's name, he can't exactly tamper with it, can he? Because it's gonna be his reputation, his name at the stake. No, we're gonna be making flatbreads, tortillas, really. Do you have a choice? Oh. And create a new one? True. And they will be trying to dissolve the contract on their own terms. So we should renegotiate it while we are ahead, right? On our own terms. Yeah, makes sense actually. Oh, something that's not fucking around in the city square? Hmm? Uh, bread, butter, egg? You wanna be selling French toast? Or. Yeah. Oh, that's a lot of cookies. Or whatever they are. Oh, biscuits. Okay. I mean, sure, good idea for a business. Yeah. Certainly more profitable than selling flour. Okay, so that's the recipe that Lawrence was talking about. Gotcha. Right. Oh, the secret of flatbread, eh? True. It's different from bread. Okay. Oh, the fucking Holy Communion. uh, and that's how the tradition of Holy Communion and communion wafers was born. Just. Thank you. I was about to say, just don't leave the crumbs inside of the book. To have biscuits on hand. Yep. Oh, the timer didn't start. I just fucking noticed. Great. Right, but Trio is now kinda sorta sanctioned, basically. Yeah, he wanted to confirm his own beliefs. Exactly. Yep. Mm-hmm. True. If they start disproving the existence of deities, not far away from there to disprove the existence of their god, right? uh, if. It's a big if. We haven't actually seen Ruya do fuck all this time, so. What was that moment all about? Oh, the entire village came to thank them. Yeah, let's not forget Evan. Let's treat him a little bit better, you know? Lay off the sticks and stones. Are they continuing with the wheat? Or wheat, right? They got wheat. Or flour. Wheat. Yeah, wheat because he milled it at Evans. Yeah. Are they traveling with wheat or are they traveling with biscuits? I wonder. Okay, we still have a bit. I think. Which ones? True. Okay, so they did sell their wheat. True. True. You have a confirmation that your friends are alive at least. Oh, the one that Diana mentioned, right? He's not greedy for the biscuits. Or so she was hoping. Oh? Of course. Yeah. She could so easily have been made into a tsundere. I just realized. Thank fuck she isn't one. Honestly. Okay, that's the end. I. We might see something after credits. Yeah, we have enough time. I was about to say that I expected some, like, tidbit more, right? Like a little tease of the next season or something. Probably left after credits. Or Holo talking to the white wood what? White wolf girl, yeah. Presumably Holo's and Lawrence's daughter, but we of course don't have like a proper full confirmation, but I mean she's a wolf girl and she has white hair like Lawrence's, and Lawrence isn't old enough to be going gray haired, so probably their child. Good job, Passione. Good job. And, of course, yep. Great music. Oh, there's plenty more. Tune in for season 2. Of course. Okay, no like in-episode confirmation of a second season, but still. Why did my timer not start? Oh, now it did. So it should have started, but it didn't. Great. Hopefully you can sync the episode to like me hitting space or counting down, but sorry for that. Regardless, let's watch this episode again, shall we? Yes, we shall. And if you're unfamiliar, then after we watch this episode again, I'm gonna go through my theories, I'm gonna be highlighting them, and then I'm gonna talk about the episode, and then about the season itself. Right? Right. Alright. What is this statue made out of that they can lift it so easily? Either Lawrence is incredibly ripped under all those clothes, or the statue is made of wood. Maybe. I mean, still, this much wood would be heavy, and you don't make statues out of like light wood. Like it's not made of fucking cedar or balsa or whatever. It's probably made of oak or spruce or something like that. So yeah, they didn't lock the base. Did they even have the key? Very good point, actually. Very good point. We kind of had to read those books in a hurry, right? Get as much as we can out of them and then run. But now, if they manage to save the village, they're going to be able to stay however long they want and read whatever they want. Not something I considered, but now that I hear about it, yeah, makes perfect sense. And actually, like, it's gonna matter. Miracle's Path and Journey's continuation. Demanding money, of course. All will be fine if you light this on fire and accept the true teachings. Of course. Again, standard modus operandi of every monotheistic church out there. This is a cool scene. Right? Like everything goes completely silent. No music, no anything. Just the four of them entering the scene. some like birds chirping vaguely and just their footsteps. And this is a classic shot. This is a classic shot you do whenever there is like multiple people walking in a row. You start like offsetting them to eventually take the whole screen. Such a classic shot. I was told that you ran away. Yeah, that was exaggerated. They are obviously under the protection of an evil pagan god. Why are you not under the protection of your god, though? Huh? Are you perhaps implying that their pagan god is strong enough to protect them from this calamity, but your god is not? Curious. But of course, nobody is gonna take that angle at it. Because, of course, we will rebuild a new and proper church, of course. The false servant of God is a poisonous evil snake. I mean, it is a snake. I gotta grant you that. Probably poisonous as well. However, God has graciously shown me the true path. I have met one of his divine messengers. Assuming that we actually take the angle of Lord Trujillo and other lesser deities were brought here by the god to help the people, then she's not far off base, because you could reasonably call Holo a divine messenger as well. She doesn't even need to confess the lie, does she? The fact that you claim to have met a divine messenger so easily is proof of your heresy. What is Evan doing on top of the cart, I wonder? Is he just like showing himself? Is that all it is? Like, I initially thought that when the grain sprouted, that Evan had to be there to maybe get like a couple of grains from Holo's potpourri and drop them so that she gets like connection to this wheat or something. But no, she wouldn't need that. She's standing right there, right? She can probably grow wheat remotely. She doesn't need to touch those grains. So probably not that. The mistake itself is not completely off the mark. I believe that Trujillo himself is one of God's miracles. Right. The God learned to delegate, right? He can't cause miracles and help people in every single corner of the world, can he? He's omnipotent, but not omnipotent, right? So he sent his messengers, Trujillo being one such messenger. Neither confirmed nor denied. Yeah, sure. How can you be sure that they were not the whispers of the devil? Yeah, a sign. And there we go. Sure enough, a sign. They really like using this wheat, don't they? It's like, those are 3D models of wheat. Right? Right. And they're using them in the opening, and they're using them here. It's like a signature look of wheat in this version of Spice and Wolf, for sure. Cool music. Like, Evan is standing there, like, posturing a little bit for them. What are you doing there, mate? Why are you even standing there necessarily? Aren't those bags full of flour, though? Flour can't sprout. I guess that's part of the miracle, right? Right. Maybe. I mean, when Holo showed Lorenz growing of wheat, she took like 2 grains of wheat on her palm, not like a sprinkle of flour or something. So we know that she can grow like wheat kernels into plants. But either she can grow flour as well, or what Evan was mixing into the chalice, it just wasn't, shown correctly, because it was supposed to be grain making it to the chalice and not flour. Either of those is fine. I mean, the former would obviously be more fine because it would mean that there is no, like, animation error. But sure, whatever. And yeah, of course, everybody sees it as a miracle. The bishop probably has his suspicions, but he can't very well deny that, can he? Right? Not with this many witnesses, and a few of them being of his church. Okay, so they specifically refer to it as wheat. Not flour, wheat. And one carriage had infected wheat on it. I would like you to confirm that this is not an act of the devil. How could he, though? Right, if he said it's an act of the devil, he would admit that the devil can create miracles, and thus the devil is just as strong as our God. And we can't have that, can we? Only God can create miracles, right? Devil resorts to trickery. Right? Something like that? Probably. Bless this chalice. Right, and Evan is gonna try the wheat. Cleanse this chalice with your own hands. Can't really deny that, can he? Like, he has no reason to deny it. If he did deny it, well, something's amiss there. And he has his, like, cardinals or whatever rank do they have watching him intently, right? Like, your holiness, what are you gonna do? And of course he has to do that. Peer pressure saves the day. Holy water, produced by boiling the hell out of it. Or in this case, by being poured by the bishop. That's a very ornate dagger. Just wanted to notice that. Yeah, that's clearly flour and not wheat. So I wonder which part here is incorrect. Is it incorrect that there is flour in those sacks? Or is it incorrect that they call it wheat? I don't know. Tell me how it was in the light novels. Was it actually wheat, or was it flour, or was it unclear? Or maybe it was a mixture. Some sacks had flour, some had wheat, because some did not. Some were not milled in time. I don't know. Yeah, bit of flour from here, bit of flour from every single cart, except the one that's been tainted. Yeah, you don't eat raw flour. It can contain salmonella, and you don't want to get salmonella. In fact, they often tell you to not eat like raw cookie dough, right? And many people assume it's because of eggs, because eggs are unsafe or whatever. You can make raw egg perfectly safe for consumption without like kill the salmonella, but make the egg still viable for eating. In Europe, for example, you don't even need to bother with any specific preparation. You can eat eggs completely raw. Mostly because they are not washed, so they have the natural coating, so you can keep eggs just at room temperature and they're not gonna spoil, as opposed to eggs in America that are washed, because who wants to have an egg with a bit of like dried out poop on it? So they wash them and they lose the protective coating, so you need to keep your eggs in the fridge, and there's a risk of salmonella making it through the shell. So generally, raw eggs are safe to consume actually, and they're not going to give you salmonella. Flour will, the raw flour. That's why they tell you to like not eat raw cookie dough, because it might give you salmonella. Although many brands of like pre-made cookie dough make their cookie dough with like prepared flour, right? The flour is like briefly heated to kill salmonella and then makes it to the dough, so that they are actually like safe to consume raw, because they know that people are gonna do it one way or another. But in general, don't eat raw flour. Always at least just heat it on the pan, or just bake the fucking thing, right? The more you know. This is the truth of God's miracle that the divine messenger has revealed to us. If this miracle is false, you should surely be able to demonstrate a true one. I don't see much logic in it. Or is the logic that if it was the devil who caused this miracle, then surely God will want to one-up the devil, and so you will be able to drink this infected flower from the holy chalice, right? Yeah. Or rather, like, if this is a false miracle, then show us a true one, right? So we know the difference. And if you drink this infected chalice, I mean, it can be infected, it's blessed by you, your holiness, after all, then that will surely be a true miracle. So we can compare notes. Right? Is it something like that? I'm actually not sure. Will you drink this water? No. No, there is no need. It truly is a miracle. Legitimate church, and of course we gotta have it in writing. Cover your ass principle always applies. Whenever at work, for example, whenever someone wants something from you and they like walk up to your desk and they ask you for something or they ask you to do something, ask them to send you an email still, so that you have a paper trail, so that when you do that thing and someone has an issue with it and they go to you, why the fuck did you do that thing, you can show them, hey, this dude asked me to do that, I'm just following orders. Basically, cover your ass. Yeah, problem solved. The issue of money still has not been resolved. I will admit I still don't like fully get the issue of money here. Like, if the wheat is proven to be safe, then Enberg can just take it back, and this village doesn't have to pay their money back, right? So it's not really an issue. Unless their plan is to step in and make things even better, right? Instead of returning to status quo, they just want to improve matters even more. I think that's what it is. This is cool. I always like shots where there's just a face in the middle. I don't know, I just like shots like that. Are you sure you're not actually a wolf yourself? Kinda, sorta. The Wolf of Wall Street. Well, they settled the matters of religion, we're gonna settle the matters of coin, of course. Yeah, on the whole entire forum of the village. We'd like you to keep the wheat. Right. We'd like you to keep the wheat, and we're gonna pay you back, but in time, not now. Right? Wheat can all be returned if Ridelius Hellfire is found in it. What's the price for accepting? Right, so they sold the wheat for a lot of money and they're gonna buy it back for less money, so they are already ahead in that alone. And again, peer pressure, and also a threat of being beaten up. The story of Poisonous Wheat is actually, yeah, let's not talk about it. He knows perfectly well what's up with the story of wheat. So he's gonna agree to anything, basically. So they're like 60 gold coins ahead, essentially. Would you like to buy back the wheat you've returned? However, the people of this village don't have. Right. They still lack the funds. Persuade the bishop to allow the village to sell wheat under his name. I'm not 100% sure about that, except like safeguarding the sale of wheat in a way, right? Like they wouldn't be selling the wheat of Turso, right? The village is called Turso. They would be selling the wheat of Bishop what's his face. And so if that wheat were to be bad, it would be the bishop's reputation at stake, right? That's about what I can surmise. But I want to check one more thing while I still remember. Spice and Wolf 2024 on the actor, the voice actor for the bishop is not listed on AniList. I'm gonna check on Mal instead. Where would he be? Is he even listed? No, I do not see him listed, I'm afraid. Oh, there he is. Bishop Mendez, Yamaji Kazuhiro is voicing him. And Yamaji Kazuhiro is voicing Henry Henderson in Spy Family. Is he voicing Zettur? I swear he's the guy. Bang in One Punch Man. Actually, I'm just gonna Control F it. No, he's not the guy voicing Zettur. Well, shit, I was mistaken then. My bad. Okay, let's continue. It's possible that people of Enberg will cause trouble in my business. I'd like you to be my ally in that case. Thinking of making bread. Right. I'm not 100% sure what's up with persuading the bishop to sell wheat under his name. Unless he's only talking about like this specific wheat. We can't sell it under the name of Tursto. We can't sell it under the name of Rindot because they are associated with Ridelius's Hellfire. But we can essentially like create a shell company, or right, like Facebook rebranding to Meta, basically, right? And we're gonna be able to sell this particular wheat as if it was the bishop selling it. So we get the money and the wheat actually sells. And the bishop should have no issues selling that wheat because it's proven to be safe because it caused a miracle. Right? Right. Probably what's going on here. It's possible that the people of Enberg will cause trouble in my business. I'd like to be my ally. Right. We're not going to be selling bread. We'll return the money once that business goes well. Okay, so essentially selling on credit, kind of buying on credit. No, he is essentially selling them wheat on credit. There's credit involved. Right, they get the wheat. They don't have to pay the money yet. They turn wheat into biscuits, sell the biscuits, make a profit, give him back the money that they owe him for wheat, and keep the rest of the profit. That's basically the scheme here. Yeah? Adding an extremely attractive condition, dissolve the contract created by Father Franz. He's actually not incorrect here. As long as the contract exists, the town of Enberg will continue to resent you. Yep. 100%. And I would say not just the town of Enberg. I would say the other villages as well. 100%. There's one village that can sell some wheat once a year, then just fuck around for the rest of the year. Meanwhile, we have to like have orchards, have a blacksmith, have some logging during winter to, you know, buy tools and food, and we need to do some odd jobs, and those fuckers can just lazy around half the year, right? That's not fair. So I can see the resentment from other villagers, and obviously resentment from Enberg, because the deal is not good for Enberg. This contract was abnormal from to begin with, yeah. Contracts should be made to benefit both sides. Right. And yeah, if Rindot and Bishop Mendes are willing to be on our side, and they are more than willing to be on their side right now, right? Rindot is under threat of Lawrence revealing him being involved in poisoning the wheat. Bishop can't exactly do much against the miracle because he would be showing his cardinals or whoever the fuck they are that his faith isn't as, you know, strong, because he denies the existence of the miracle or questions it after he sanctioned it, right? So they have both Rindot and the bishop by the balls. So now is the time to renegotiate the contract. Next year, things would have been different. They wouldn't be able to renegotiate it to be better, but now, right now, they can. They can make a contract that will be maybe not just as good as the one with France, but will still be beneficial to them, but will also be beneficial to Enberg. A deal that will not antagonize Enberg, but will be beneficial for both parties. Yeah. If they waited with that, or if they kept France's deal, then such a negotiation could not happen next year, for example. Next year, entirely possible that they would have poisoned the wheat again, or did something else entirely just to get rid of the town, of the village, right? We'll need some cooperation from the baker. Eggs and butter. Seems this proposal will result in something delicious indeed. A whole entire mountain of biscuits. Selling well in Enberg as a Terio specialty. Right. Flatbread. Yeah, like sugary flatbread, right? Basically. Because it contains honey, yeah. It looks nothing like bread, so the bread bakers will have no reason to complain, yeah. It's a completely different product, right? Bread is like your, you know, daily bread. You get a bowl of stew and a slice of bread, and you eat stew with the bread. This is a dessert. This is a snack, right? This is a bit of a luxury product even. Fairly cheap to make, right? But still fairly luxurious. Not quite as luxurious as honeyed peaches, perhaps. Yes, I remember, and Lawrence, you better fucking buy her those peaches. But still. We've made a profit-sharing contract with Rindot and Mendes, so they have no reason to complain, right? All the bags of wheat confirm the lack of poison. And we're moving out. Right, and it's made before the spirit can bless the bread with leavening thing. Interesting that they still like have the concept of like spirits of bread while believing in the one true God. I wonder how does their religion of like one true God kind of work with the spirits of bread leavening. Right, and we are moving. Make sure to have plenty of biscuits. Sure. Chosen to take care of negotiations with Enberg. So essentially entering a bit of a merchant role, isn't he? More people stopping by the church, right? Because Truriel has kind of sort of been proven to be the messenger of God, so if we worship Truriel, then, well, we should probably worship Truriel's boss as well, so might as well. And besides, we've seen the miracle, so, right? Truriel is still more popular? Sure. As he will be, as he will remain. Have you found your answer? You told me that my father was not wrong. Yeah, he was trying to confirm the existence of pagan gods to confirm the existence of God. If lesser deities can exist, then surely my grander deity can exist as well. It was a research less into the existence of his god and more into the possibility of the existence of deities at all. Because if deities, general, can exist, then surely the one particular deity I believe in can exist as well. That is the reason I believe it isn't good for the Church of Enberg to refute the existence of Triel. Yeah, as I said during this scene, if they deny the existence of Triel, if they deny the existence of other deities, well, there's just gonna be a single step to deny the existence of their own god. If deities do not exist, then why does this one particular deity do, right? People might start asking this sort of a question. If a creature like you can create such a grand miracle, it's clear that our God could easily create all living things in this world. Yeah, that is also a part of this justification, right? If a lesser deity can make wheat grow, then surely a higher deity can make worlds grow, right? If Trier can create miracles as grand as yours. Yeah, that's a big if. The people of this village have a good eye, that's all there is to it. I don't fully grasp the significance of this scene. I'm gonna be honest with you. Is it supposed to be just like friendly ribbing between Elsa and Holo, right? Like bits of teasing, and Holo kind of being surprised that, well, Elsa, you're fiery, aren't you? And you're allowing yourself a lot. You're not a scaredy cat like you were. You're not like angry. You're not who you used to be. You're behaving very friendly right now, friendly to the point of being able to, do some friendly ribbing, right? Probably something like that. Yeah, the whole village is here to see them off. Whole waving CG crowd. Travelers don't leave behind regrets in a village, but good memories. What was it that Himmel the hero have said? I don't like long goodbyes because it's gonna be awkward when we meet again, right? Something along those lines. Just like that. The arc has been completed. Beautiful vistas. I really like this environment here in this place. Like, I would love to have a hut like somewhere on the side of one of those mountains. With optic fiber internet, of course, right? But still, a hut somewhere in those mountains by this river, maybe. That would be nice. Like, I don't know, recording a video for YouTube and then going out of my front door and fishing some salmon, or that would be a dream. It would have been stripped naked and burned at the stake. Yeah. Now we are able to sell our wheat at a decent price. So they sold their wheat to Terio, basically, so that they can bake more biscuits. And they have what, biscuits with them? Or do they just carry money for future investment? I don't know. I mean, they carry some biscuits in this bag, but I don't know what's loaded in the back of the cart. My hopes were not fully met this time, but I gained enough. Yeah, she gained the knowledge that her friends are probably still alive, at least some of them. Or rather, that they at least escaped the bear. What happened to them after, we don't know, but the bear did not kill them. It just destroyed the village. But the people were fine at that moment. We go into Lenos. Greedy look to yeah, the look of greed after money. Yeah, we have another trading opportunity, another good business deal, but a little bit out of the way. Oh, nothing can be done, then I guess I'm gonna, stick around with you for a while longer, baka. Yeah, as I said, it would be so easy to have Holo be a tsundere, but thankfully she's being tsundere ironically, and it's great. I really like it. I really, really like it. I really like her personality in general, I gotta say. What business is to be had? Well, we're gonna see in the next season. And here we have the story being told by Holo. I mean, that leaves absolutely no, like, possibility of mistaking her for anybody else. We have the white herd. She doesn't have ears. I could have sworn she has fangs. She doesn't have ears. Not in this shot, at least. And not in this shot either. Then again, Holo doesn't have her ears either. Huh. Well, that's weird. They were, like, Holo was not shown to have, like, control of her. And there's no tail. By the way, don't tell me. If that's a spoiler, if it actually matters, don't fucking tell me about it. Like, Holo wasn't shown to be able to, like, disappear her ears and her tail at will. She always concealed them with clothing. And if they are just, living here together, why would they be concealing that from each other? And yet the fangs are clearly visible. Is that why they don't show, like, the upper half of their heads? To not show the lack of ears? And we see this figure, and that is unmistakably Lawrence, still wearing this, like, zigzag patterned shirt underneath his home. I like how they don't specifically state the relation, right? Like, she doesn't say daddy's home or father came back or anything like that. His home. Very vague. Everything is so vague, but at the same time so clear. The story's far from finished indeed. Why is she missing her tail and ears? I'm gonna note it down, you know what? I'm gonna absolutely note it down. And then we're gonna go through the theories, of course, as we always do. Where is Spice and Wolf? Isekai Shikkaku, Bye Earth. Spice and Wolf continuation. Hello. Without ears and tail. Theory, some sort of a fall from divinity. She decided to live in the mortal realm with her mortal husband and gave up her divinity. I don't know. First thing that I came up with. Spice and Wolf, where does it start? It's like split into two parts because there's so much of it. Alright, there we go. The young girl from the beginning of episode 1, the white-haired girl, is Holo's and Lawrence's daughter. We don't have a proper confirmation, but it's pretty safe to assume. Holo living in wheat is a plot point, right? Wheat lost, stolen, destroyed. Lawrence lost his wife, fiancé, sister to the wolves, we don't know. Holo lost someone to a human attack, we don't know. Meatsving is the HQ of the church. Was Meatsving the, like, Vatican? I can't remember. Tell me if it was Meatsving that was the Vatican here, because I can't remember that. And I'm gonna mark it if you tell me in the comments. Treni Mint is hoping to increase perceived value of their coin by having people buy it out to offset the decrease in physical value. No, that wasn't the deal with the silver. That was one of the countries trying to buy it out. Trenny coin disappearing in speculant's vaults will cause the viral coin to be the only one stable. Releasing Trenny will flood the market and drop its value further. No, that wasn't the plan either. Shepherds are somehow magical, kinda sorta. There's a war or some other geopolitical conflict brewing. There's a bunch about Remedio that I already had marked. Craft experiences character growth, figures out he's not as useless as he thinks, has his own strengths. Kinda? I mean, it's not like he was... Maybe early he was feeling kinda useless, but certainly not now. Grain from Hollow's pouch runs out or is running out, not yet. 10-year debt of Remelio becomes relevant, not yet. Pyrite, fool's gold scam. Yeah, it was a fool's gold scam. Some other letter is very important. What was that in relation to? I don't know. Lawrence teaches Holo how to read and write. No, he doesn't need to, because she knows how to read at least. I'm gonna mark read. We don't know about writing. Someone tries to scam Holo with a contract she cannot read. This leads to her learning. No, she can read perfectly well. Holo cannot read a very important letter. Of course she would be able to. Fermi is an alcoholic. Alcohol causes him issues. Not really. Dian is from Lenos or North in general. We don't know where she's from exactly. Mark's apprentice is spreading rumors about Holo and Lawrence. I think he was. So I'm gonna say that yes. The fortune teller is Dian or Elsa. Which fortune teller? Oh, there was that fortune teller selling pyrite, right? Well, safe to assume it wasn't either of them. Fermi falls for full gold scam. No, he was the one perpetrating it. The freckled nun is a misaligned gear in the church's machine. Yeah, she kinda is. She kinda inherited that status from France. A church conspiracy. It's an artificial creation made with a purpose. We don't know the origins of church. Effigies of wolf and man come together right at the end of the not Remelio. Remelio? No, not Remelio. At the end of the Pyrite arc, right? So, I mean, yes, they did. No, they didn't. They were shown together. They didn't come together. Unless I misremember something. Next, Dian is a demigod deity, etc. Yes, she is. A bird deity. Serpent deity provides good harvest. That is the assumption of people of... Yes, I mean... That's what they believe. Elsa discovered the serpent deity. No, she did not. Louis Lana Stinglight is family of Elsa Stingheim. Who the fuck was Louis Lana? I don't think she was mentioned ever again. Or was it a pseudonym of Father Franz? I'm not sure. Lord Truyo is also a beastfolk deity. Safe to assume, but we don't have like a proper direct confirmation, so I'm gonna say yellow. Truyo's hibernation cave is important. Yes, it is. That's how they escape from the church. France's stash of pagan manuscripts. Kinda. Not sleeping through Yeo, although maybe, because Holo suspects that he might still be there. Franz had some dirt on the Enberg church. We didn't know that. Franz was Trujillo. Probably not. Pomegranates. Nothing really came out of them. So that's gonna be an orange. Trujillo's power makes it possible to grow pomegranates north. Again, we never again see pomegranates. Unless someone in the comments, I think, said that it might be a sign of like the decadence at this village, that they order pomegranates from the deep south because they are so rich thanks to Francis' deal. Although they aren't, they don't even have like arms, so I don't know. And the next part, oh, where is it? There it is. I'm gonna put a marker here. There we go. Holo reveals her wolven form to Evan, Elsa, Elder, or to the village. Holo reveals her wolven form to Evan and Elsa. Not to the Elder, not to the village. Holo ex Lawrence marriage officiated by Elsa. Not yet. Not yet. So I'm gonna leave it be, but maybe in the future. Someone from Enberg Church framed the village into poisoning someone to have a casus belli, since pagans are killing God-fearing folk. Yes, that's basically what happened. Elsa is related to Father Franz in that she's his adoptive daughter. I'm gonna say yellow, because she's not like related by blood. Which I thought that she might be like his blood daughter, maybe out of wedlock or something. Holo visits the Serpent God for help with Enberg raid. No, no raid happened actually. Holo and Lawrence arrive to Yoitsu. It's destroyed, but they catch wind of its inhabitants, so they continue the journey with the new goal of finding them all. Safe to assume that's what's gonna happen, but we didn't arrive there yet. Holo makes a moving effigy of Trujillo as the miracle. No, that wasn't the miracle. There we go. That sums up the theories. Those are the first 2 pages, and this is like the last half page. Not great, not terrible. With my accuracy, we'll see what future seasons, plural, hopefully, bring, right? But right now, the episode. It was a good finale to the season, I'd say, right? But at the same time, the finale of pretty much every single arc would have been a good finale to a season here, right? Like, they all provide a nice bit of closure. So, yeah, I mean, it works, undoubtedly. I like that we are starting, or the show is starting to ask questions about gods in this world, right? It was something very interesting to me. How in a world where like actual physical deities walk around and cause actual physical verifiable miracles, a monotheistic religion of some vague god that doesn't show themselves, that doesn't cause any like harvest or anything like that to be born, right? You'd think it would be very hard for a religion like that to arise in a world with walking, living deities. So I wonder if we're gonna explore it in a little bit more depth. I would like it very, very much. I like the general conclusion of this arc. I initially was not sure about Elsa coming back and Evan coming back. I really was envisioning a better life for them somewhere else, but I'm actually glad they went back, right? Their conscience is clear. They have a place to stay, a place they know. people they know. They're gonna be treated much better now by the villagers. Essentially, everything got better thanks to them coming back, right? The village is in a better position. Arguably, the town of Enberg is in a better position as well because they are selling the Terio specialty. So maybe someone is gonna stray off the path to visit Enberg to buy some biscuits. Entirely possible. The bishop is better off because he gets a part of the profit. Rindot is better off because he gets a part of profit. Lawrence is better off because he gets a nice bit of profit, right? Like everybody benefited from Elsa and Evan coming back. Elsa is getting new believers at her church. Evan is gonna be treated better. He's gonna dip his toes into the mercantile life by like being the one to facilitate trade between Terio and Enberg, right? Like everything, every single bit that could have gone better went better. So I actually really like that. I wasn't sure initially. I was skeptical, but I really like that they did go back and that everything ended so well. Yeah, good episode. I enjoyed it. I'm super glad that there's more to come. I'm gonna be waiting with bated breath for sure for more news about season 2. Hopefully it's still Passione. Hopefully they got a nice influx of money. Hopefully this show was very popular in Japan as well and they're selling all sorts of merch and Blu-rays and shit. And maybe season 2 is gonna have even more budget put into it. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I really like this episode, and as I said, I'm waiting for more. Season itself. I liked it. I really did. I'm gonna be honest. I probably would not have watched the original Spice and Wolf. Like, I generally tend to stray away from like older anime. It's nothing like super specific in them, but I don't know. I just find the art style a little bit less appealing. I just find the animation a little bit less at times. Not always, of course, right? It's not a rule, but I just find older anime kind of hard to watch for the most part. I don't know how good was the original like run. Maybe it was amazing, maybe it was great, but I probably would not have watched it unless maybe it got voted on my Patreon or something, or someone convinced me to do that or whatever. So I'm glad that this remake came out. I'm glad I got to experience this story. I'm glad I got to meet those characters. Like I knew that Holo is this like OG waifu essentially, alongside like what Shana and similar characters, right? But I had absolutely no context for it. I was also afraid when starting this show that it's gonna be kind of boring, right? That it's gonna be just traveling, selling. We're gonna be shown like an Excel table of exchange rates, and someone's gonna explain to us that, see, if we exchange this for this and this for that, and we go there and we buy pepper and we go back and we sell pepper and then we buy silverware and then we exchange, and right, like I was kind of afraid of that. That it's gonna be like a fairly dry show almost, with Holo just being this bit of like waifu bait almost, and it's just gonna be trading. And that's it, essentially. I'm so glad I was wrong. This show is like legit really good. Is it the best that I've seen? Hard to say that after having seen Frieren. Frieren is just kind of diminished most shows that I've seen. Frieren and Shangri-La Frontier, at least on like the animation and art style front. But it's good, right? Like it's another show that has super flashy fights every other episode, so they need to be animated super fluidly and whatnot, right? It has pretty art style. It has good animation. It has amazing music. The music is the real standout here. But most of all, it tells some great stories and has some top fucking tier characters. Very often in a story, characters are just story devices, are just vehicles for the story, right? Causing the story to move, right? Our main character meets a princess, not because the princess is necessarily an interesting character in her own right, but because she has the story of being exiled from her kingdom and now she needs protection and we need to protect her. The main character needs to protect her, and then they need to go back to her kingdom and reclaim her throne, yada yada yada, right? Like, you know what I mean. But in this case, take away the story of Holo wanting to go back to Yoitsu, and it would be perfectly fine. I would still be sat down here every week just watching them travel and trade. I really don't even need the overarching story here. I sometimes criticize some stories for lacking an overarching story arc or for dawdling with establishing such an arc, right? Like, the episodes are very episodic, but we don't really know what's the like big thing here, right? Is there like a grand conspiracy, or is the demon lord returning, or something like that, right? They're taking their sweet time to establish that, and so the anime just kind of loses the momentum with just episodic episodes. That, if anything, that was my like early issue with this. No, not really with Wistoria. I had that issue with some show. Can't remember which one. But they eventually did establish an overall Isekai Shikkaku. Yeah, Isekai Shikkaku was this sort of thing where we had that vague goal early on, but we didn't have like the arc that gets us to some like physical established goal. But now we have that, and the anime is so much better for it. But in case of Spice and Wolf, I wouldn't mind not having the overarching story of Holo wants to go back to Yoitsu. I really wouldn't. Like, give me 400 episodes of them just traveling and buying and selling and going back to the towns that they've already visited and seeing how Nora's doing, seeing how Evan and Elsa are doing, and then going back to trading and selling. And maybe we could go on a boat and travel to another continent to buy some expensive spice, right? I would take that. I would fucking just gulp it down. Just give it to me in buckets and I'll just drink it. Yeah, really good story. Amazing characters, and I honestly would watch this show just for characters alone. Honestly. And I can see the appeal of Holo as a top tier waifu. Like, she's not a number one waifu for no reason. Absolutely. I'm certainly gonna be waiting for more. I hope that season 2 like keeps up with this season. Very often you see a drop of quality in season 2, and I'm kind of afraid of that. Right, we've seen it in many cases. One Punch Man, Overlord, right, where episode 1 has a lot of budget and a lot of care put into it, and then season 2 is just kind of whatever, right? Like, people are gonna watch it because they want to know what's next, because they get dragged in with season 1, so of course they're gonna watch season 2, so we don't need to put much care into it. I hope it's not the case. I hope it's the opposite. I hope it's gonna be the case of, well, we got some nice money from merch and from Blu-rays, we can hire a couple more people, we can spend some more time making it, let's do the best that we can, right? Hopefully they at least keep the like this sort of quality, and preferably I would like them to raise it. Although, are there many like venues where they can raise the quality here? Again, it's not like Freeren where they can show off their like fluid, spinny, fiddly fights, right? So I don't know. Like, this was perfectly satisfactory. is what I'm trying to say, but I would like them to maybe try a little bit harder. That doesn't come out best either. Whatever, you know what I mean, I hope. If not, I'm gonna clarify in the comments. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it. It's been over an hour and a half, so yeah, again, sorry for the issues with the timer. I will see whether I'm not gonna edit it with a timer because it's gonna drop the quality of the video, and I want to release it early. It's already late, this episode gonna be, and I don't want to spend like 2 hours rendering it out. So terribly sorry for that. Hopefully you could sing the video just fine, even without the timer. And yeah, again, as I said, that's gonna be it. So now you guys, you tell me, what did you think of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, in the comments down below. No spoilers, please, I beg of you. Spoilers can go to my Discord if you'd like. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to be notified of future videos. Spice and Wolf Season 2 whenever that comes out. But we also have Isekai Shikkaku, QA Isekai, and Wistoria left, 1 episode of each, and then we're gonna get to the next season. So also click the bell icon as well to be notified when I have my seasonal stream. Like every season, we're gonna be streaming the look at the next season of anime. I'm gonna be making some pics of what I'm gonna be watching, and I'm pretty sure about at least a couple of them. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, or where for $10 a month you get early access to no seasonal shows, and for $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube, membership, super thanks, super chats, and if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Nedze, Rene, Sam Greenwood, UK Ally, Dr. Watt, Aquamancer, Marsh, Fazel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to drink raw flour.